Hi there guys, it's Dan here with your weekly update. Just looking here at the Dow Jones on the daily. So we're getting a new red sort of PTS here with momentum trigger down below. Closing and confirming, we kind of had one yesterday, just about see it there. And we're getting it, continuation today. And big numbers today out with CPI inflation in the US, and had this sort of symmetrical triangle here, sort of drawing a trend line up the lows and up the highs. And price rallied. We can look at it intraday, rallied, quite very strongly here, and just hit this sort of trend line and reverse off the trend line, and then we had about 700 pip move. It's pretty epic for sort of us day traders, with a continuation down at the sort of US Open as well. So we're looking for more downside in stocks. We've had this prolonged period of up, and it's just not got anything going to the upside. Usually if we were looking at reversal, we would have an up, a down, and then a continuation up. We're just not seeing that. It's very bearish still. High inflation. We're looking at targets now down to the sort of N shape, back to the lows here, and potentially even lower. We look at a sort of monthly chart. We were coming into this support. If we can break this support, it really could be down into 26,760. And just sort of blocking out the hoover there. And so we're just expecting more downside here in the coming weeks and months. Nothing to suggest really getting long at all. And if we look at the DAX as well, pretty similar. We've got momentum trigger here on the monthly, and we're actually already below a lot of the moving averages. So we are in a band of support. If we look kind of left, and we maybe get a bit of a box here of resistance. So we're kind of in there now, so seeing how this goes. But generally, again, we've got a daily, more daily red on the chart. Not got that sort of new momentum trigger like we have with the Dow, but certainly we're still bias short. Maybe we're looking for a new red histogram down and following the PTS to more short side. We had a weekly. Really, we were looking at this rotation, and we hit that sort of target, and it could be more downside here. Certainly short side bias. We look at the NASDAQ as well. NASDAQ's a bit stuck here, but looks again like we're just testing this support on the weekly here. There's 200 period moving average. Really, if we get a closed break below there, we could go all the way to this previous high, which is the pandemic high. So more downside in stocks. It's been a fantastic trading week already for you stock traders. So really nice there. And then if we just wanted to look at crude oil, equally here on the weekly is red. Oops, is red. Just cracking that open. We just at a major support here. So we're seeing how this goes. I've had a attempt at a bit of a rally this morning, but nothing really doing. It just looks more short side, red and short. We are at a real band of resistance though, or sorry, support here. We can see all these lows here, and so we're right back down there. Are we going to rally from this position like we've done before? Here and here. Every time we've hit this price, do we rally, or if we continue, there just really is nothing kind of stopping this. So it's really the previous price that's providing the support at the moment. Otherwise, we could be down to further targets. See if we can find something here on the weekly for support. You know, really is this 50 period support here. And we could pop through a little bit, maybe, you know, if we do pop through, do we go to this previous high to $85? Maybe, and then maybe we take a, you know, bigger rally longer term. So more downside with red, still focused to the short side. Then gold here, again, still more selling in gold with a fabulous sort of trend predictor on the weekly short. We look at this on the daily. Looks like we might just have a, you know, or attempt a little bit of a rally. I'd be looking maybe if we do, we're seeing some sort of shoots of green on the intraday, you know, 4 hours, I think. Yeah, here we go, 4 hours here. So, you know, do we rally a little bit for a few days and maybe just get back to this previous low here, maybe 1780? I'd be very interested to look for a new short, you know, sell signal. Just losing a bit of momentum here. And so, yeah, looking for where resistance is above price for the next sort of short, because we look at this on the monthly, you know, this is, we're here again. We were here before, we're turning red. Do we get a big sustained move down? You know, potentially we're right at this support here. But if we close out the month red, we'll be looking just for more short side. So that looks really nice. And then we just go to a few of the pairs here. And we've been looking at this pound Aussie and pound generally for sort of weakness. We are still kind of early in this sort of short side trade. It's a bit choppy. It's a bit red. Sorry, it's a bit choppy here on the monthly. And just seeing if we can kind of break out of this sort of range here. You know, we can probably pop a bit of a trend line across the top here and a trend line across the bottom there. You know, a good sort of move down to, back down to this trend line would be, you know, a nice move really in this currency pair, 300-400 pips. So we're still open to that. Just seeing, you know, what the trigger we're going to get is on the storyteller here with momentum trigger. If we get momentum trigger, you know, do we start a nice down move like this, or just a, you know, slightly smaller one like this? You know, we'll take it. So no problem at all. And then just one other market that I was sort of interested in is the Aussie New Zealand. You know, it's just sort of kind of going nowhere a bit at the moment, and you know, a bit sort of sideways, but still like this breakout here from the trend line on the monthly. Still looking, you know, green. And if I had, you know, a preference, and I would put in maybe an order trade, if price can just get down to this, back to this support here, back to this trend line, we could get a nice fresh new buy. So yeah, just looking for it to come down to maybe 10,900 zone. And that's, you know, sort of reflected on the daily here, where we're sort of struggling a little bit to make new highs. We got, you know, a bit oversold, a bit overcooked. And so we're just looking, you know, hopefully it can have a decent sort of down, you know, 100 pips, and then we just find that support for the next sort of buy, and you know, we'll follow the PTS, let it turn red and come down, then new green buy down in this sort of zone. So there's the update this week. Hope that's useful, and I will speak to you along.